In this video, I just wanted to have a casual, chill, sit-down conversation with you about the state of Call of Duty Zombies content on YouTube and the community. It's no secret that a lot of Call of Duty Zombies YouTubers have dropped off and disappeared. We saw a bit of a resurgence with Cold War Zombies, where some people did make it in the limelight, such as Lego Unlocked, and a lot of people rose from the surface, but it was nothing like what we saw with Black Ops 3 Zombies or Black Ops 2 Zombies even, where there was a ton of content creators that shone bright and blew up massively during those games. And the community sentiment back then was completely different as well. It felt like everyone was really friendly with one another, although there was definitely a lot of drama still then too. There was still kind of a sense of unity, even when there was drama. But after Black Ops 4 Zombies, of course, that game was very controversial, and after that game released, it just seemed like a lot of people just started dropping off like flies. And then come Cold War Zombies, like I said, there were a handful of people that did start to be posting regular content again, and we've had people like Mr. Dalek JD as well that have been posting regular Zombies content, and they've never really stopped. But then after Cold War Zombies, the community sentiment still felt very, very lackluster. I don't know, there's just kind of this vibe of this emptiness feeling, and I think it's just because, like I said, there isn't really a sense of community in the Zombies quote-unquote community anymore. It's kind of dissipated into these really tiny pockets in the online community. There's obviously a bunch of people that are still very interested in Call of Duty Zombies, millions and millions worldwide, that still engage with Zombies content or play Zombies regularly. People's TikToks about Zombies content still blow up and they still get millions of views, so there's definitely lots of people interested, but there's just not a sense of community anymore. And especially in terms of the YouTube scene, there's very, very few people still actively posting Zombies content, including I don't really post that regular Zombies videos, and of course I post mainly guides, news, tutorials, storyline videos, so of course, since we are not going to be getting new Zombies content for a very long time, it makes sense that there isn't really any Zombies content for me to post. So whilst waiting for the next Zombies game, I'll post about little bits of news here and there whenever we hear it, and I'll make storyline videos just recapping stuff from Cold War Zombies' storyline or any past Ether storyline stuff if I feel like it's relevant or hasn't been discussed enough. But other than that, there isn't really much else to make. Now in terms of the rest of the Zombies YouTubers, because I personally don't do live playthroughs or anything that's really personality based, other Zombies YouTubers of course make top 5 videos, they make custom Zombies videos, they just do playthroughs, and right now of course, like I said, there's no new Zombies content for quite some time, so the only thing other Zombies YouTubers can post is custom Zombies content. Of course they can go back to old maps as well and replay them, and I think some of the maps, particularly in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, there's a lot of nostalgia surrounding them, but in terms of all of the maps past then, I think they've been overplayed on YouTube and it doesn't have that strong of the nostalgia pull. For example, Black Ops 3, a lot of people are very nostalgic about, but I don't think that content on YouTube really does that great, because during its main life cycle it was so overdone. People have done every possible challenge you can do on every single map, they've done every possible playthrough, they've done any possible video idea imaginable. It's been done a million times already, and like I said, that's why custom Zombies is that breakthrough. It's something that's always going to be unique, since new custom Zombies maps are always going to be getting released to World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3, where most of the new content is being produced, since that's the last officially supported Zombies game with mod tools. But what we're seeing right now is just so many YouTubers have become disinterested with Zombies and they've zoned out. They might still engage with it a little bit on Twitter, but a lot of them have just stopped posting. A lot of the smaller guys particularly, and even then for the larger Zombies channels, there's only a few that are still regularly posting. And like I said, I don't really blame them, but the whole point of this video is just to say that the Zombies community is very, very lost, and I don't even know if the next COD Zombies game is very good, if it's able to rejuvenate that. Obviously, we just had Vanguard Zombies, that was a complete disaster, and that makes sense as to why the community is this way. But even during Cold War Zombies, we know that the player count was really, really high. We know that when Outbreak released, the player count reached its peak numbers, and that's because a bunch of new players came over to Zombies from Warzone. Before I continue with the rest of the discussion, I just have a quick message to share with you, and then we'll get right back to it. This video has been kindly sponsored by Belt Colony. The year is 2024, you, an ex-sergeant, have signed a contract with a large mining corporation in the Belt. Mine ore, build out your outpost, travel to nearby asteroids, and collaborate with other Belters. Operate a mining outpost on an asteroid, mine valuable ore from large and small rocks on the surface, sell the ore to earn credits, the currency in the Belt in the future, build out your mining outpost with a landing pad, drone pad, storage, solar panels, refineries and more. There are lots of large and small rocks on the surface that can be easily mined for ore. Sell ore and buy upgrades, equipment, buildings, repairs, etc. You can sell the ore that you mine using the management user interface in the outpost. Just click the sell ore button and you will sell ore at the current market price and earn credits. You can use the credits to buy upgrades, equipment, buildings, repairs, food, water, etc. When you have earned enough credits from selling ore, you will be able to buy a spaceship. You can now mine ore more efficiently and travel to other asteroids. As you venture out into the belt, you will meet others. You can earn credits by doing tasks for them. There are several space stations scattered throughout the belt. Most of them are owned by the United Space Corporation and Utopia Aurora Corporation. Drones are very useful for hauling ore and small equipment. Extractors are specialized drilling and extraction rigs that can be used to extract different types of ore beneath the surface of the asteroid. The game's main features include mining ores, base building and upgrades, deploy mining rigs and control drones, low gravity and zero gravity physics simulations, spacesuits and spaceship fuel, oxygen and integrity mechanics, explore and mine large asteroids that are 1 to 3 kilometers in diameter, visit and earn credits at the many space stations in the belt. It's very easy to play and you can chill out on in the belt. Enjoy several hours of gameplay in solitude in the asteroid belt, mining for ore, operating your outpost, flying your spaceship, floating in microgravity, etc. This may be a good game for you if you like space games and are tired of action-packed shooting games. Scattered in an orbit around the sun, just beyond the orbit of Mars, are bits and pieces of rock left over from the dawn of the solar system. The asteroid belt has countless small asteroids and between 700,000 and 1.7 million asteroids with a diameter of 1 kilometers or more. The game is set somewhere in the belt where there are several large asteroids in the proximity of each other. The developers have made many large high-quality asteroids of several kilometers and several miles in diameter. You can land on any surface of any of these asteroids and mine them. The developers have put a lot of effort into making the asteroids realistic, so if you love space and gaming, put them together and check out the game, which is in its early access via the link in the description. And make sure to add it to your Steam wishlist in time for its full release. But despite the player base being very strong for Cold War Zombies, it felt like that didn't really transpire exactly to YouTube. Like I said, a few people did blow up, and my channel and a lot of other zombies channels did very well in terms of earnings. 2020, when Cold War released, was my biggest year to be a zombies channel. I had by far the most views, but what I'm saying is there was barely any zombies YouTubers posting. You have a select handful, whereas if you look back at Black Ops 3 Zombies, there was way more zombies YouTubers posting. And come Cold War, despite the player base being much higher, the viewership was a lot lower overall. Yes, individual zombies channels had their peak viewership, I included, but you have to bear in mind, well, if there's less zombies YouTubers posting, the views are going to go to individual channels a lot more than being spaced out across multiple channels. So whilst the viewership was high, it didn't reflect the same viewership to views on YouTube ratio as the past Zombies game. And I think that is kind of like what I was saying earlier regarding the fact that after Black Ops 3 Zombies and then with the release of Black Ops 4 Zombies, when Black Ops 3 Zombies I think was the peak in terms of the zombies community coming together and just having a bunch of fun and nostalgia, and there was the Z House and all of these really awesome things that were going on, then it kind of all just fell apart with Black Ops 4 and so many people became disinterested, and a lot of those people just have never even came back. Even though Cold War Zombies did rejuvenate a lot of the player base, a lot of people that disappeared through Black Ops 4 never came back. And then there wasn't really enough new zombies YouTubers that began in Cold War Zombies to replace the people that left. Only a few of them did. There was only a few channels that blew up during that game. So what this has meant is that right now the zombies community just seems very empty. Like I said, there's still a lot of people very interested in zombies, no doubt, but in terms of the online community, it's kind of just fallen apart and it's dissipated. There's not like these big friendship groups anymore. Of course, people stay in contact, they still talk and whatnot, but it doesn't feel like we're a collective, and I don't think this is going to change next game, even if it is really good. I just don't know why. That's just how I feel. And personally, I feel like COD 2024 Zombies is going to be a huge success. I think it's going to be a massive rejuvenation for COD Zombies because Treyarch have a lot of time to work on this game. They are not burdened by a lot of the constraints that they were with Cold War Zombies whilst working on Vanguard Zombies simultaneously. So hopefully this is going to be the big comeback for COD Zombies. But if COD Zombies does have this big comeback, I still feel like the community, the online community, is still going to feel quite displaced and all over the place and not really feel like a collective. And of course there'll be new zombies channels that will blow up in the next game, but I still feel like there won't really be that many compared to the past. And maybe part of the reason for this is because all zombies content, like I was saying earlier, has been done over and over again. There's not a single unique thing you can do if you're a zombies channel unless it's something regarding the storyline that's not been discussed before, such as a particular theory you have that no one else has talked about, or if it's something to do with your personality that's very unique. Of course, if you have a unique personality, you're going to strive. But personally for me, I've never made personality style content, and a lot of zombies YouTubers don't. Some do, but they're very few and far between. And even then, no matter how good your personality is, if the community is feeling very empty, it's going to affect the people who do have those standout personalities as well. So what are your thoughts on all of this, and how do you think this can change? Do you think I'm wrong? Because personally, like I was saying, I just feel like no matter if the next game is huge, I feel like come the end of it, it's still going to have this sense of displacement within the community where everyone's kind of just off doing their own thing, and it just kind of just feels empty. That's the best word I can use to describe it. That is the zombies community right now. It's just these small little segments online, off doing their own thing, these small little niches. No one really feels like a big collective working towards the same goal anymore, like they did in Black Ops 3, for example. You know, like I was saying earlier, I think Black Ops 3 was the peak in terms of the community. I don't think it was the peak in terms of player base. A lot of people have that misconstrued. Black Ops 2, if you look at Google Trends or other statistics, was the peak for zombies in terms of its player base and online interest, even in terms of viewership. Black Ops 3 was the peak in terms of community, in terms of the amount of channels that were posting and interested in content, but the viewership and player base didn't quite reach as high. Zombies content is very stale, and I'm not really sure what can be done to change that. And like I said, I don't really think this is a problem of the YouTubers or even Treyarch. With Black Ops 4 Zombies, for example, Treyarch tried to add a lot of features that were purposefully put in the game to cater towards YouTubers. For example, custom mutations, which allowed for infinite edits to the gameplay so you could do a bunch of challenges. But then when it released, no one even utilized the mutations to make interesting zombies content, to be honest. And then I think because Treyarch tried to cater towards zombies YouTubers so much with BO4 Zombies, they didn't do that at all with Cold War Zombies, and they just tried to do their own thing, tried to strip back zombies and make it simpler so that it could open up zombies to a much wider and broader community, which they succeeded in. And I don't think they're really going to try and cater to zombies YouTubers as hard as they did with BO4 Zombies, because it just didn't turn out well with that game, with all of the blue screens and stuff, and it just caused a lot of community confusion. Of course, a lot of zombies YouTubers were very angry at their game, and they were very rash in the way that they expressed their criticisms of their game. They definitely went too far, I included sometimes. I guess they were frustrated that the views were down and they probably weren't enjoying their jobs at the time making zombies content, so to them, they then just took all of that anger out on Treyarch when the circumstances surrounding Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 4 Zombies in particular are a lot more complicated, and there's a lot of nuance there, so you can't just really pin all the hate on Treyarch like they were trying to do something wrong, which is never the case. Obviously, they're always trying to do their best work, they're always trying to create the best product, but certain development things just go wrong, or there's certain issues that really aren't exactly the developers' fault themselves, such as the campaign getting cancelled in BO4. So yeah, where we're left right now, zombies content is very stale. We're waiting for a couple years for the next zombies game. We've just come off of the back of Vanguard Zombies, the worst zombies installment ever, with barely any content. The ending on the Archon was unsatisfactory, didn't really leave us with any questions we can even have for COD 2024 Zombies. It was very vague, unlike the ending for Forsaken, which was awesome. So yeah, right now we're in this community drought, and like I was saying, I just think that no matter how good this next game is, we're not going to escape this community drought. I feel like we're just kind of stuck here. I don't really know what can change. It just feels like ever since Black Ops 4, like we're saying, zombies YouTubers kind of have just been arguing with each other due to reasons outside of the game, and now we're kind of just stuck here where the community is just fractured and there's these little niche communities, but there just isn't really enough zombies content like in multiplayer or Warzone to be able to have, you know, a consistent channel where you're doing unique things. Like we're saying, you can keep making zombie storyline videos, you can keep making custom zombies videos, but there comes a point in time where it's going to get boring for everyone to be producing that content regularly. I know for me, it's become very repetitive making zombies content or Call of Duty content in general, and I've thought about doing loads of different things, but I've just never really pursued it enough or actually gone through with it. So a lot of other people, instead of making zombies content, they now go off and do some other content, or new channels that might have thought about in the past about doing the zombies channel, they instead decide on doing something else because they realize that the community is fractured. They realize, well, there doesn't really have much longevity in terms of zombies content, because yes, you can probably milk it for as long as zombies is successful, which I think is going to be for pretty much forever. I think Call of Duty is going to be successful for eons. I mean, it's already been successful for 20 years, and it's still the most successful gaming franchise that is on the planet, even after all of these years. So yes, you can definitely milk zombies content for a long time, but creatively speaking, you definitely definitely going to get bored of it at some point, or at least not be that enthusiastic about it. Maybe you like making some videos, but then others you're not so keen on, but you know, you've got to keep doing it just to keep consistency. So yeah, what do you think? Come the next Zombies game, do you think that the community is going to come together again? But like I said, I just don't think that's going to be the case, because COD Zombies, whilst it was successful, it didn't cause the community to come together and rejuvenate a lot. It kind of still felt very fractured, and I think even if the next game is a lot more successful than COD Zombies, it'll still have that same fractured, empty feeling. But maybe I'm just being pessimistic. I'm very optimistic in terms of Zombies making a big comeback. I'm very optimistic about that. I've posted countless videos about why I think that, which might be overly optimistic, honestly, especially after what we just got with Vanguard. But in terms of the community, I'm very pessimistic, and I'm not really at all optimistic that things can start to come together again. I feel like what's been broken and what's been done has already been done, and there's not really any fixing it unless a massive new wave of Zombies YouTubers come up from the dust and they come together and rebuild the community. But even when new Zombies channels have come up through the dust, for example in the post-launch of Black Ops 4 Zombies and with Cold War Zombies, it didn't cause the community to come together. They kind of just did their own thing and succeeded, but it didn't bring back that sense of community and that sense of joy that we all had as a collective. And yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I'm kind of just rambling a lot right now, so I do apologize for that. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.